Hi, this is Renee Romeo. For years I've been wanting to put together an area where I can put all of my ribbon for gift wrap. Have it nice and convenient at your fingertips. You can see all the colors at once. Previously I've had them all stored in a drawer somewhere, and it's not the most convenient thing, and you forget kind of what you have. So what I have are a bunch of different colors of ribbon that you can purchase, I'm imagining all across the country, at your local party store. And they come in a ton of different colors, and they're on these black spools. So the black spools, basically what they have are just a little hole in the middle, and the hole in the middle is supposed to accept, I guess, a wooden dowel. But if you can think about how long a wooden dowel is, you probably don't want to go more than 2 or 3 feet, especially with these being so heavy. The dowel will eventually sag over time. So that's why I've never built anything until now. What you're going to need are several of these spring tension rods that you find in the drapery section of your local big box store. And basically what they do, they twist and screw either in or out to accommodate different widths. And they have rubber tips on either end to prevent slippage once you squeeze it into whatever space you need. From that point, we're going to need a level, and we're going to need some safety glasses. Now the safety glasses, we need those because these spools for ribbon don't fit onto these spring tension rods. The spring tension rods are a little bit too wide. So we're going to need to drill this out somehow. And I've already tried drilling it out, and what we don't want is one of these kind of drill bits. So this drill bit here, you'll see, if I can get a close-up on this, there's a little slot inside, and the slot, when you go to drill it, this gets stuck in the slot and you're going nowhere. So, so that's another option for you, is that you can use one of these drill bits, which usually are like for 1 inch or larger spaces, but it's a little bit too big to fit in here, and what I'll wind up doing is just ruining all of the construction of this plastic piece. So I don't want to do that either. And what I've come up with is very, very simple, using a screwdriver and a hammer and safety glasses, and then you also need, I've never seen a clamp like this. I'm using a couple of these just to secure this spool to the table. You kind of need that, otherwise the spool's going to roll around a little bit as you're pounding on it. But the really neat thing is this opens up and about and gets clamped directly to the table, and it's got a trigger on it. So basically we're going to set it on this lip and then trigger it together so it holds it nice and tight. And so you'll see that when you hold your screwdriver up to the edge here, holding it at an angle isn't going to give you the best pressure. The best pressure is going to be just a slight angle, not totally up and down, but enough to get into that corner and then just pound it out. That gives the cleanest finish of all of the angles that you're going to use. And you'll see, boy, that's a really nice clean break, and that's what you need in order for this to roll perfectly on that rod. The rubber stoppers actually pop off the ends of the rod, so basically you could just take this and you can go along all the tops and bottoms of these cardboard spools, make these marks, and it'll make it a lot quicker for you to transfer this circular pattern to your cardboard. Okay, it's marked all along the top, and so basically I'm just going to take this X-Acto knife, and I'm going to be very careful because it's very sharp and the cardboard is very thin, and so it's going to cut really easily and it might just get away on you. So just be careful when you're doing this part of it. So I'm going to go all the way around, turning as I go and meeting up with the beginning, popping that out. And then I'll take my finger and I'm just going to run it along this rough edge. It's not going to cut me. It's just going to even that out nicely so that it rolls around that rod. I have 2 of the rods already, and I'll show you what the process is. I basically go to the wall and I make marks where I know I want each one of the rods to sit. So basically there's a mark here, a mark in the middle, and a mark on the top. And I have 5 rods all together in varying lengths. So I make sure that my rod is twisted out to a point where I know it's going to be nice and sturdy against either side. And I simply place one rubber tip on one of the marks and push this into place on the other side. And then I'll go ahead and take my level and make sure that the level is dead on. And that is, it's dead on. So from here, I'll take a pencil and I'll make a mark right around that rubber stopper. Just like this, I'll do this on both sides so that when I have to take this off and add ribbon to the rod, I'll know exactly where it has to be placed next time around. I have all the ribbon spools threaded onto the rod, and I'm going to simply place this in place by taking the rubber stopper on one end and lining it up with my mark, and then pushing on it slightly to be able to release the tension there, and then get it in place and line it up with the other mark. And it's really that easy. Each and every time that you switch out one of these spools, you'll be able to just pull it off and pop it right back in place very, very easily. So once you've done that, make sure that when you thread these, you're threading them onto the rod so that they either all fall off the top of the spool or off the bottom of the spool. It doesn't make any difference which way you do it, but you should have them be consistent throughout the whole project. In order to address the ribbon from unraveling constantly, you need to have a method of securing it, and these came with tape on them, which isn't a very good adhesive for this kind of ribbon or fabric for that matter. And so I found a product called Zots, and you've been familiar with them in some of the products that you've purchased from the store before. They come on this waxy paper, and basically they're clear little gummy dots that are adhesive. And the great thing about them is that you can use them on fabric and they'll stick, and you can use them on this plasticky type ribbon and it'll stick, but you can peel it off with your fingers quite easily and it won't mar the finish of any of the ribbon. Here's my Zot. It's probably very hard to see on camera, but basically you could just peel it off. Looks like that. And then you can take the end of your ribbon, twisting, and apply it to the back side and then just press it into place. And you'll see, you can see that quite easily from across the room as to where
I'd also like
to
organize
some gift bags. And I have some space above here. I know it's a little bit hard to reach, but the great thing about it is I don't use gift bags all that often, and I can kind of rifle through them as I go. And I have a very heavy-duty wooden rod left over from a previous project, so I can cut this down to fit directly between the two walls and use that to hold all the gift bags, and I won't risk having them fall. If you use the spring tension rods, it's not going to be heavy duty enough to carry that kind of weight. So the only two accessories that I need to handle this part of the project is a little kit. It's usually used for dowel rods for your closet, and it consists of 2 pieces, one which is a solid ring and the other which is an open ring. It's more like a cup. And basically what it's going to do, one side of the rod is going to slip into the solid side, and the other side is going to lift up and click into place in the open side. So I'll go ahead and install those and get the bags on there and show you what it looks like. Well, there you have it. It's done. It's everything that I hoped it would be. Everything is super organized. I even went ahead and organized all the tissue paper so that visually I just walk in the room and I know exactly what I need and where to grab it from. I was fortunate enough to have 2 walls close enough together to do this, but in thinking about it, you really could do this in a bookcase. A bookcase that's wood on both sides. It'll be heavy duty enough to hold up to that tension of the rods. You could easily do the same thing and roll everything right out up to a table where you can wrap very, very easily. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this. This is quick and easy and something to make your life a lot easier. And until next time, this is Renee Romeo. Thank you so much for watching.